Tappei has just released Arc 8 Chapter 20, and this video will be a summary of the chapter. I highly recommend you check out my Arc 8 Chapter 19 summary. Anyways, let's begin. I know who the enemy is. It's a witch who caused a disaster in the kingdom of Lagunica. Sphinx. This is stated by Roswell. We see the group is having an emergency meeting. Subaru asks when this person went on a rampage, and Roswell stated 40 years ago during the Demi-Human War. Sphinx was one of the 3 leaders of the Demi-Human War, who also made the tension rise in the country. Subaru mentions the name Valga Cromwell, and Roswell confirms that Valga was another one of the 3 commanders. They speculate that Sphinx and Valga Cromwell are seemingly going rogue in the Valachian Empire. Either way, Subaru is glad Beatrice is safe. Subaru wonders about the 3rd commander of the Demi-Human War, but Beatrice states that the 3rd commander is dead, and if you were able to go to the Pleiades Watchtower, you would be able to find their Book of the Dead. Julius remarks that they could be fighting against historical people. Subaru asks if Julius is having fun, and Julius says he's already fought against Reed Astria, so he isn't going to be getting his hopes up. Otto wonders if Sphinx's plan has been dismantled due to running into Subaru and the rest. However, it doesn't seem hopeful. Furthermore, there's another issue: her look, which looks just like Ryuzu. Garfiel, of course, is still angry. However, Garfiel says what happens after is the problem. They witnessed Sphinx shatter in front of them, yet she appeared in front of Subaru and was subsequently shattered again. The speculation is made that Sphinx can resurrect after death. Furthermore, after Sphinx dies, she retains the knowledge of what killed her and can use that to her advantage. And this is all that Roswell is speculating. Subaru likens Sphinx's ability to return by death, however in fact is more similar to Beetlejuice's possession ability, where the body dies but the soul remains and moves on. One tactic to beat Sphinx is to keep killing her. After all, it's impossible to resurrect an unlimited amount of times. Subaru then thanks Halibel for saving them. After all, if Rem didn't tell Halibel to help, Julius, Emilia and Subaru would have been turned to dust. However, Halibel laughs it off. Halibel states that if he wasn't warned beforehand, he would have also met the same fate. Subaru is glad he called him the second time around after he died the first time. However, he shudders to think what would have happened if Halibel was not present. Anastasia then says it was worth the money to get Halibel then. The information regarding Sphinx's attack on the carriage carrying everyone made its way to the Valachian leaders. After all, the interlocking dragon carriage system that they were currently riding was a national secret, and Julius destroyed a wall when jumping out, so they had to explain to the Valachian leaders what exactly happened. Abel asks if Sphinx is behind the disaster, and Roswell states that the Cretan is in fact behind it. Emilia tells Roswell off for using bad words, and Roswell smiles at Emilia and says he won't do it again. Abel asks about Sphinx going berserk in Lagunica, and Roswell explains that all 3 leaders of the Demi-Human War were killed, according to the Kingdom of Lagunica's records. Abel states that zombies don't randomly grow out of the ground, and queries whether or not Lagunica's fault is behind this zombie uprising. However, Roswell states that 40 years have passed, and that since the zombies haven't shown up until now, it's natural to assume that Lagunica's records of the war were true, and he can't really speak to what's currently going on. Abel inquires about the nature of the zombies, and Beatrice says that Garfield provided insight on that, since the zombies had different durabilities, which Garfield was the first person to notice. For example, some zombies would die in 1 hit, however different zombies would take 12 hits or 13 hits. Subaru simply wonders if it's due to the different strengths of the zombies, However, this is actually incorrect. Strength of the zombie has nothing to do with the durability of the zombie. With that, Roswell pulls out a block of ice with a red circle inside it. However, this red circle isn't actually a red circle, it's a weird caterpillar-like creature. In other words, the lifeline of the zombies is the bug inside it. If the bug dies, it doesn't matter how strong the zombie is, they will also wither away. And that's the reason why some zombies died in one hit, because the arrow that pierced the zombie also pierced the bug, and when the bug dies, the zombie dies. The worm or bug recreates the target's vessel, and then it occupies the host. Abel is very impressed with Roswell and Beatrice's work. Subaru also praises Beatrice and pats her on the head. The scene changes and we see Abel and Subaru approach a room with someone under house arrest. We see that Ublik is chained up in this room. Ublik, of course, wants to stop the great disaster. However, he is too valuable to die, so he's chained up in a chair. Ublik sees Subaru and calls him the Stargazer from the kingdom. And then Subaru understands that Ublik was the person that told Abel that Subaru was a Stargazer. And Subaru says that, oh, you're the person who told Abel that I'm a Stargazer. After all, Subaru got into a fight because of Ublik. Julius, hearing that Subaru got into a fight with Abel, reacts a bit weirdly, and Subaru notices it. Abel asks Ublik to divulge any new information from the stars, and Ublik makes a prophecy. There are two lights to overturn the rage of the great disaster. One is the kingdom's Song of the Stars, a girl who doesn't understand the language, brought by a boy. Subaru is shocked. There's only one girl who fits that description. By the way, spoilers, it's the Louis Arneb, the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony. And then Ublik reveals that the other person is a beastman who is a 9 divine general, the most cursed one. The scene changed. By the way, the second of the two lights, the first one being Louis, the second one being Groovy, the 9 divine general. The scene changed. The man runs, shattering undead left, right and center. He swears to himself. His army was destroyed, and by the time he realized it was too late to do anything, so he had to escape. Since he was running, he started to doubt his qualifications as a divine general. The man gets slashed on his shoulder by an enemy. However, he's able to kick off the floor and he slides down a cliff to escape. The man continues to run away from his pursuers. He eventually found a settlement. However, he could smell life even though it looked empty. He ran to a large building and he approached the entrance, asking for help. However, he was simply met by 2 sword slashers, which came out from the entrance. However, this man, Groovy, the Divine General, dodged in time. Laughs then rang out, and the man stated that he didn't expect someone alive. There was alcohol in the air, and you could smell it. There were 2 middle-aged men, one with blue hair, Rowan, and one with red hair, which is of course Heinkel. Both of them stare at Groovy, who is a 9 divine general. Groovy then asks why they're here wasting time when the Empire is in danger. And with that, the chapter ends. Wow, this is really interesting. This fact that Louis Arneb is going to be one of the people that saves Wallachia. This is amazing. So yeah, Louis is not dying. She's a very important character now. This is obviously Louis' redemption arc. So I'm really happy with that considering my profile picture.